Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Cosolix. Today we're going to be playing some Strikeout, but we're going to be going over some crazy changes that are happening to Brawlhalla. So if you already know this, I posted a video, Brawlhalla 2.0 is coming, and that was talking, oh my god, why are people leaving in Strikeout? That was talking about the changes that Brawlhalla is thinking of going forward and the big changes in terms of story mode, whatever. But they did another live stream last Friday where they kind of clarified and they talked about very specific game mechanic changes. And this stuff that's coming before the mid-season championship or right after the mid-season championship will change the game forever. Honestly, it's going to do that. When Dash was introduced in 2017, that changed the game forever, and this is almost on the same level because it's a lot of things that, you know, are together, and it's a lot of big changes. So, guys, I'm going to be talking about all those changes, what I think of them, what I think they should do. And, yeah, if you enjoy this type of stuff, hit that like, subscribe, comment down below. I don't have taunts on. I'm sorry, bro. Who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. Okay. Without further ado, let's get right into this. So the first thing they talked about is that this is like stuff, again, actually happening. So this first one isn't really the title of this video, but if you bought the All Legends pack, okay, so if you purchased all the characters in the game because of it, you'll get a coin refund for any characters that you purchased before it. So like, let's say you purchased, I don't know, Bodvar, right? When you purchase the All Legends pack, you'll get all your coins back for the purchase, so you can use on other things. So that's not a big change. That's just the first thing they really talked about on that stream. Definitely a little nice one. But after that, this is kind of a big change, especially for YouTubers. They're making this system, and they call it a handicap system, or a handicap feature, where you're able to play Brawlhalla, but you're able to change the values of your opponents in the lobby, or yourself. So, like, let's say we're doing 7 pros, or 7, sure, let's say 7 pros versus 1 gold, but the pros are all on, like, 50% 1 speed attack, and the gold is like 300%. You know what I mean? So, like, we could do crazy videos like that in the future, and I'm actually really excited. Guys, hit that notification bell, because when this feature drops, they said it's going to drop in like 2 patches, so I assume like 2 months max, 2 to 3 months max. It shouldn't be past that, and it looks good. They've shown it off with a trailer and stuff. You know what? I'm gonna play that trailer now.
Okay.
So it's up in the settings. You go in.
Wait, like this step
You
by
gotta
step.
turn it on.
Oh, now you've unlocked all this stuff. You can change the amount of stocks you have. You can change how much, not just the damage taken, but also the damage dealt. It's a separate value.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
So you have 2 separate values. The stock count can go anywhere from 1 to 99. The damage done and taken separately both go from 50 to 300%. And there you can see that's the stock counts literally shows in game. And again, blanket statement, before people get overly excited, I always want to just be like, hey, this isn't 100% guaranteed,
but you can see that
it's looking good.
The programming's in. I mean, look at all that. Look at him turn it up. Yeah. I know that's you.
Yeah. And here you can see the sheer difference. That's 50 to...
But yeah, the feature honestly just looks really good. It looks pretty perfect. It looks like it's a final, and they're going to add it. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be a lot of good content. They also talked about, in experimental, there's some new bot logic to make the bots play a bit more human-like. So that's going to get pushed into the game eventually. They said that's looking good. Again, these are not the changes that are going to change Brawlhalla forever, or like this will change Brawlhalla. Let me go over them. And now we're starting. First thing, they want to nerf weapon throws, and they're talking about the idea of throw clashing. So, as you know, if you weapon throw and someone attacks at the same time, sometimes your attack will get stuffed by a weapon toss. But what this will do is it will give you a little bit of weapon throw invincibility while you're in the move of an attack, so you can't stuff out an attack with a weapon toss. Like, you kind of can if you're far enough away, but if it's like close to the hitboxes of the move, then the weapon throw will not register until, I think, after the move. I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but the goal is to nerf weapon throws for someone who is engaging. So that's definitely one change that, again, it's not committed, so their overall process of adding these big changes is they want to put them in experimental first, and then they want to test them in experimental, see if they like them, and then when they feel like it can be added to the game, then they'll add it. But they're really focused on making those changes. So anything that goes into experimental now, like, they are really thinking about it to go in ASAP. Like, their goal is to fix this game before BCX, right? They hear the community complaining. Their best player ever retired. Like, so they're listening right now. And they're going to make these changes, and they're trying to do it in a way where they don't have to let the player base randomly push to something that's not going to fit, right? They want to test something, make sure it's good, and then they'll push it to the rest of the game. Oh, it's the same guy. Cool. Okay, next thing. New directional gravity cancel windows. So they adjusted it. I believe it's in experimental right now. I don't know. If you're holding and then you dodge and attack, see how I just did a GC side light? Those frames that, like, you can input it, it's like a dodge window of like 4 frames or something, are being reduced. So it should reduce the amount of missed inputs with gravity cancels. That's a small change, but it's definitely looking like it's going to happen. Next up, okay. So the current dodge changes that are in the game right now are not being graduated for now. They look good, but there's some issues with them. In particular, if you upload those dodge changes in experimental, like you dodge once every 3 seconds or 2 seconds and it's universal. If they upload those features without a weapon throw nerf, then it's going to become meta to just throw your weapon to take a dodge, and then you'll have some insane advantage state. So what's going to happen is they're going to obviously keep working on this feature, but they're going to have to work on some weapon throw changes as well, which is what they talked about. So what they're going to be doing is, they said, quote, they're reevaluating weapon throws, okay? One of the next experimental features could be like the old weapon throw deflect system. So what you used to be able to do is, if you weapon throw, if you dash towards the weapon throw, then the weapon throw will get deflected off you because of the momentum you have. So that idea was put into the game a while ago, but it might work today. This was a different state of Brawlhalla. So they're kind of reevaluating how weapon throws work, and over the next patch or two, they're going to be adjusting them in the experimental queue. The goal is to get these changes in-game before the mid-season championship. So there's going to be a lot of experimental changes, and changes that are coming to Brawlhalla by the end of this year, and I'm very excited for this, honestly. Like, if they can fix weapon throws, and they can adjust the dodge timers, you don't understand how much of a buff this is to my gameplay, right? I don't weapon throw that much, right? I play a grounded weapon, so I get effed over by the dodge reset, the grounded dodge reset timer. So Lance gets a huge buff because of these changes. I'm very, very, very excited for them. It's literally a direct buff to me. It's crazy. Yeah, this guy is like kind of running. I don't know what he's doing. A little weird. Next thing, wall slip. That is being absolutely fixed. Oh my god. So right now, a huge issue with wall slip is you're currently able to stand on the wall for too long. Way too long. Like, you could just stall a game still. So they're going to be reducing the maximum amount of jumps or whatever until you wall slip. They'll probably reduce it in like half or even worse. So it's like, if you're off stage, like, you can touch a couple times and then you slip, right? And this change is getting fixed ASAP as well. Like, it's a simple rule change. They don't have to do much. They'll obviously put into experimental, but it should go straight into the game pretty quickly. And then last big change, by the way, last thing, the tournament map pool. So the current map pool has been in the game for like years now, and there's a ton of new maps that are honestly really cool to just add to ranking. Is this guy trying an experimental? I have no idea. Oh my god, I'm whipping. Sorry guys, it's like the morning. I'm not playing that well. But it's not experimental, sorry, it's strikeout. What am I talking about? Anyways, so the tournament map pool, there's a lot of maps like Suzuki Castle, Void, I think it's like Void Miner or something like that. and like the Kung Fu map I kind of like personally. So there's a lot of options, and honestly, like the current map pool sucks. Like Crystal Temple is a garbage map. So is Great Hall. So is Enigma. I've talked about that in the Brawlhalla needs to change video. So the map pool is going to change, and their goal again is the midseason championship, and they're going to make sure maps stay dynamic. But then they'll invite me to a lobby. So they're gonna make sure maps stay dynamic, but then they're also going to make sure that like the new maps are in the game and the bad ones that are causing stale gameplay aren't. I think they're gonna be moving towards more of a smaller map selection. So like leaving maps like Miami or Small Brawl, and maybe even removing stuff like Mammoth. They want smaller maps in the game. They want to push aggression in 1v1. And these wider maps, even this map in particular, it's not in ranked obviously, but these wider maps make it so players can run much easier. The smaller maps forces a player into disadvantage state a lot better, and a player just can't run. So the player engaging, you know, gets more advantage state. This also favors weapons that hit closer, so like more stacked and stuff like that, than like a lance or axe, but it's fine. Like if they go with a balance, you can always buff them. It's not a big deal. I don't want axe to be buffed, but I'm just saying like smaller maps are better, honestly. Even if it doesn't fit my gameplay, then I can adjust. So those are the map changes that's happening. The last changes, I said that for the map, but the last like it's this stuff is happening next patch. The upcoming balance nerfs. So what is this guy doing? Is this guy good? So okay, he just stopped. Okay, so the upcoming balance patch is going to have a major change. So the last one, Axe and Hammer got nerfed, but honestly, they were fake nerfs. They didn't nerf them in the right way, like we thought they would, and they nerfed. So Brawlhalla is a thing called acceleration and velocity. So if you know with physics, whatever, when you do a move, how quickly you accelerate into the max velocity was nerfed for Axe and Hammer. So it's like how, like for Axe Downer, right? How quickly you get to that max velocity was the thing that was changed. And the problem with that is it didn't change the max velocity. It was still a major issue of players drifting. So what they're going to do in the next patch is they're going to actually change the max velocity like that exact value. So the next axe change is going to be absolutely ridiculous. It should be a huge nerf theoretically, and it should make the weapon a lot more committing for every attack, because currently it's just way too easy to get attacks and win neutral. Like the weapon feels like a light weapon when it isn't. It's axe. It should be a lot slower. So that should be changed. Same with Hammer, and we should be seeing some crazy nerfs. And those aren't the only balance changes. And these changes should happen right after the Omen Championship, I would assume. Maybe like early March. It should be the patch after the current one. That's going to happen probably this week. By the way, there's a new crossover happening, so stay tuned. Turn the notification bell on for my channel, because I think it's G.I. Joe. I'll be talking more about it in probably the next video or two. But yeah, that's happening. Other than that, like those are all the changes in this video I'm going to be talking about. But everything I talked about, when you combine it all into one, like they're basically changing Brawlhalla as a whole. Like it is going to feel like a different game when playing. Maybe not at a casual level, but definitely at a professional level. What's good and what wins, especially in terms of like what pros are doing, is going to change. And it's a little funny seeing the opinions of a lot of new pros, because a lot of new pros became pro on these current dodge timer changes and whatnot, and then the old pros are all pushing for changes to make the game more aggressive. So it's pretty funny. It's almost like a new versus old, and like it's pretty funny to see people's opinions and whatnot. But Brawlhalla is going in this direction. They've already confirmed it, and I'm glad that they're making that decision. Guys, if you enjoyed this, hit that like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll see you all in the next video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments of all these changes. Do you think these are healthy, unhealthy? Let me know. Love you guys so much. See you in the next video. Peace.